So I got a new hitch for my truck, and so a couple years ago I started a camper rental business, and so this is one of our campers. I just brought it back and got it disconnected, and all my trailers are 2 5/16 balls. So I got this new hitch from this company called Citymons, and right now I just use a standard weight distribution hitch. But this new one from Citymons is supposed to be like an anti-theft and anti-rattle hitch. I'd seen it online. I didn't buy it because I do use the weight distribution for our bigger camper. But for our smaller camper, which I'm about to go get, this would work just fine because I don't use the weight bars on those. So I'm going to swap out this hitch for that one and give this a shot. This company sent this to me for me to test it and check it out and give it a review. They didn't pay me or anything, but if you do buy it through my link, I get a few bucks. So that should make you feel warm and fuzzy if you decide that this is something you want. So I'm going to swap out that hitch and put this one in, and then we can go get our other camper. So one of the points of this hitch is it comes with keys, and it's an anti-theft hitch. So it's got a little keyway right here, and I'll show you how that works. So this is a 2 5/16, but I believe they offer it says in the box. Yeah, they have all three common sizes. They've got different drops and everything, so whichever one you need. This is class 4, 2-inch drop, rated 10,000 pounds, gross tongue weight. I guess that should be gross vehicle or trailer weight, not tongue weight. So the way this works is you unlock this, and then make sure, yeah. And so if you watch, these pins will extend. And while it's doing that, it takes a lot of turning. But while it's doing that, this also extends right here. And this is for vibration, anti-rattle. This kind of secures it inside your receiver. And these are actually your hitch pins that keep it from falling out of the vehicle. But when you take this out, you can't retract it, so it locks it in place. Let me suck these back in. It takes a lot of turning, but realistically, you should only do this once or very rarely if you're not changing your hitches all the time. And if you're changing your hitches all the time, this is probably not the hitch for you. Like I don't normally swap my hitches back and forth like this. I just use my weight distribution without the bars. But so let me line this up. Okay. Then I will twist this. And those pins are coming out. And then it's stopped because that anti-vibration thing has fully extended, and I can turn it maybe a little bit more, but that's as far as it's going. I'll lock this, put the cover on there, and then no matter what I do to this without the key, it won't come out. So keep the key in my truck, and then let's go test this. Now, I'm not doing scientific testing on this. I don't have the equipment for that. All I'm going to do is tow a trailer with it. And as long as the trailer doesn't fall off, I think it passes the test. The trailer I'm towing is really light. It is not anywhere near close to the max weight of this thing, or what this thing says it is. I think my trailer is going to be like maybe 3,000 or 4,000 pounds. I'm sure that the lock-picking lawyer could very easily get this open. But I'm neither a lockpick nor a lawyer, so I probably am not qualified to report on that. But, I mean, I don't see any reason why it won't function perfectly adequately for a hitch. And at the very least, theft deterrent. Much harder to take off than a hitch pin. So, all right, let's go get the other camper. Here we are, picking up our other camper. This is one of my favorite campgrounds that we deliver to. It's actually an off-road park for Jeeps, and I love coming here. It's a beautiful campground, and it's just good management, clean. It's good times. And what I have found is that Jeep people, they take better care of my campers than anybody else. So we love coming here because we know when we get our campers back, they're going to be in tip-top shape, always cleaned, always respected. We love coming here. All right, let me throw this power cord in here. And then we'll get this hooked up. Tell you, this one sits a lot lower than my other hitch. So here's one thing to note about this hitch and basically all hitches is notice how the camper is way lower here in the front. That's because this trailer, for some reason, it sits so high. The way the axle is configured, it sits really high. And this hitch is lower than my weight distribution hitch. So most hitches, this one included, can be flipped. So this is a 2-inch drop, or if you flip it, take the ball out, flip it around, it's a 3/4 inch rise. So I should have done that before I came. I didn't think about it. But so you can use this as a 2-inch drop or 3/4 inch rise. If I was going to use this hitch on this trailer, I would flip this around. I'll be able to get it home, that's no problem, but not optimal for like long-term use and stuff on this camper. I just have to do my quick walkthrough in here, and everything looks pretty good. Nothing's on fire currently, and that's always a plus. But we'll go through, we'll do an inspection, but overall looks pretty good. Just get this stuff put up and then we'll get going. You know, I was just looking at how low the front of this camper is compared to the back. I really don't like that. I normally would not be okay with that. Fortunately, this is a really light camper, but if this was a heavy trailer or something, that sort of weight distribution could cause problems, especially with the ground clearance up here in the front. But I'll just take it nice and slow and easy. I'm only going 10 miles, so. But yeah, that wouldn't fly normally. There, now you can maybe see how canted forward it is. Oh well, let's get it home. So I got it parked, and I mean, it made it home, so I guess it passes the test. Like I said, I'm not going to scientifically test this thing. I don't have the equipment or the credentials to know how to test this thing against its certifications. But I need to get that fixed apparently. But I mean, it made it. It didn't fall off, so there's that. So here's the deal. Going down the road, I was thinking about this, and I'm sure it's fine, but this is the pin that's replacing the hitch pin, and I don't know what the mechanism looks like in there that's controlled by this thing, but it's definitely more complicated than just a through hitch pin. And you know, the shear strength, the sheer force required to break that are probably significant, but without cutting this open, I don't know what that looks like. And I'm not worried about like that pin breaking off, because you know, that's 1/4 inch steel, the other side's 1/4 inch steel, it's a 1/2 inch of steel, this pin. So I don't know. I'm sure it's fine, but could something happen? I don't know, because I don't know what the mechanics inside here look like. I want to cut it open, but I just don't have a grinder wheel right now that I can cut this open with. So I can't do that. But that raises the question, like, is it okay? And I'm sure it's fine, but would it be fine? Also, apparently, this is supposed to also be an anti-rattle thing. You loosen this screw, and then you push this up against your receiver, and that kind of locks it in place. I've never really had a big issue with rattle on my hitches before. I mean, it must be an issue if there are companies, and this isn't the only company, but if there are companies that are making anti-rattle hitches, it's just not a problem I've ever noticed or dealt with. But I can't say there's something wrong with this pin, but a solid hitch pan going through does just fundamentally seem better. Although I can't tell you that it is because I haven't tested it. So so I don't know if this is right for you or not. Well, am I going to use it? I don't know, maybe. I'm going to throw it because I've got other trailers too. I'll throw it and I'll have it in as an extra, as a backup, because I don't like moving that weight distribution hitch back and forth because it's heavy and I don't care to do that. So I can use this hitch on other vehicles for my other trailers if I need to, but it probably won't be my primary just because I don't need it to be. But here's what I'll say. I don't know what's on the inside of that hitch, the mechanism, the mechanics. I don't know how strong it is. It's rated for 10,000 pounds. So are all class 4 hitches. I'm sure it's fine. But in the past, I've used this. This is a bolt lock. And I assume these are still being made. But these are great. You can get bolt locks for your hitches. You can get padlocks. You can get all kinds of things. And it keys to your car key. Or your truck key, as it would be. So you don't have to carry an extra key, and nobody, unless they steal your truck, which I guess in that case they've already got your hitch, can take your hitch. I like this solution better, personally. This is what I recommend. But if this isn't for you, maybe try the hitch. If the hitch isn't for you, maybe try this. I'll put links to both down in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.